I'm live. I might be dead. Who knows? Anyways, in this video, I am going to be drawing a Friends superhero character. It is a robotic character who goes by the name of Patchwork. Unfortunately, you guys can't hear Discord and YouTube, but you are more than welcome to join me on the Discord server. I shall put that into the live stream. Invite link. But yep, as for anyone who watches this afterwards, although I don't see many people watching a several hour long video, I will state, yep, Nemric says it right. I would refer to him as Paragore from the Discord. But anyone who watches this after the fact, when it's just a recording and not live anymore, by all means, join my Discord channel whenever you want. And next time I'm live streaming, I will be messaging there that I am live streaming shortly. So this is Patchwork. Unfortunately, I cannot show you the example pictures I've got, but I do have the creator of this character in my Discord channel. I'm going to start with the head. It looks like your head's very squarish. Okay. So, unlike normal humans, I'm starting with a square. Looks like he has a view screen. Kind of like a crown as well. And if I get any thing wrong, just correct me. What do you want me to call you? You really want to just have me call you Joe? So, yep. So is that little round dome I'm seeing, is that in the center, off to the side or something? I'm going to take a little bit of artistic freedom here. I'm going to have to anyways. But of course, if you don't like anything I draw and you want me to change it, just say so. With Paragore, I'm not too worried about my real name being used. He's Seraphim. He's proven himself. Yeah, but you know me in real life. Trying to break it away from being just a square. Sensor Suite 1, I'm putting onto the side of the head for the moment until I'm told otherwise. Not to necessarily advertise art supplies, but to people who have been seeing me stream for a while, you already know what this is. But anyone who's new, this is an electric eraser. It's from Statler. I don't even know if they make it anymore, but it's a really good tool for getting erasing detail work. I gotta go back to my reference. It looks like the view screen would go down, and then it looks like it has like little cheek protectors. Well, hopefully his face screen is made better than many cell phones. One drop and I tossed the phone onto a soft couch before and it broke. Though admittedly I had that phone for quite a while. Let's clear up the rest of this LCD screen. I mean faceplate. I was gonna ask how he either heals or repairs himself. So he can repair himself. But he could also be he could self repair through nanites for all I know. Trying to break away the square just a little bit. Boop, 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 boop. I come with my own sound effects. Kind of like walking backwards and going beep, beep, beep. So I give him this little chin piece. Is that okay? Now, would he actually be make faces with his screen, or would it just have like tactical displays like a reticle or something? Or would he just keep it neutral unless he actually needs to do something? Look, I made him happy. Is that something you would actually do, or would that not be? because I saw that you did a targeting reticle on his in his view screen on that. It could just be a blank screen, just looks like a windshield. So there's the head. And I'll form the head. I mean, oh, sorry. So you're just updating? Okay, so I have different references here. Your chest unit changes a lot. Is that intentional or just you weren't? Hmm, makes sense. Just trying to give it a little bit more 3D-ness, I guess. Okay, his head, how is it attached and how much side to side motion does it have? But can it tilt side to side as well, or is it literally just flat on his neck and just rotates? So probably almost like a rubber cone, if you know what I'm kind of talking about. So he can look down, up, tilt his head to the side if he's inquisitive or something. The next I see, I probably won't get his feet on here, but and I'm only working on his base form at the moment. I'm gonna hate drawing your character if I do a comic of our adventures. I'm just saying that now. You should be. When you're not sorry, obviously. I probably would. Don't make me. Then he will have a monkey companion who will have to keep winding him up every time he turns around. Now, how do you come by the name Patchwork? Well, I'm just curious if he gave himself that name. Did he have that name as part of his project identification? He just went, "That's my name because that's my designation." Is he called Patchwork because he's made from many different pieces from a scrapyard? Um, who's crazy? I'm thinking making that a little steeper. So now I come to the missile launchers. I mean vents. I mean whatever I want to call it. Let me guess. They came. Hmm? Is that permitted? Let's try to break away from the squareness of everything again. So while he's gone, I've got to decide what I'm going to do here. Okay. Yep, that's fine. Okay, so there's no other details there, so I'm going to add something. I can do the hip one of two different ways. I hear them a little bit. I'm not worried. They're not on my live stream, anyways. Eek. Hi. So far, now I'm going to take it. I'm looking at your other reference pictures because I couldn't tell on your base form. I'm going to take it. He actually has like a square. Um, best way to work term is groin piece that motorizes his hips. It's either that or they were directly in each hip into the torso. Yep, I'm just haven't gotten to the back. I need to get the foreground stuff done. Mm. And I added in a couple of details here or there. How about this virus? Okay, so I am now onto the groin area. Give him a little bit of a belt like piece. Yep. Which is right where he's going to have some armored pieces. That is not even. My sketch. Because this one panel is being. Oh, that's why it's being bigger. I just went straight down. I actually like the thinner panel better, which actually makes this side a little bit nicer. Now for this, I have the hip joint behind these armor panels. And these protective armor plates would actually move as the legs move. But there'll be enough room here that there'll probably be a pole here that would move up and down so he could actually widen his legs with protective, I guess, rubber or some other flexible material. And then he would have the hip that could still swing back and forth. He has a lot of points of articulation. Really, he wasn't an actual robot that anyone made specifically. He was supposed to be an action figure. But some rich kid, rich snob, just got a little too crazy with it. He's made out of plastic. Plastic and cheap grade rubber. He's like a cheap toy. You look at him the wrong way and he falls apart. Me, I finished mine. I actually have two going, and because Raptor originally was saying how he didn't want me to be an armored type because he didn't think it matched. And then I made up my character in the armored as I would have was originally thinking. And he looked over and was, you know what? That's fine. Because I'm like, I was just picturing him being like, he's in your face with little orbs of light around his hands as he's punching people. And every now and then he might release a ray of light, but he's a showboat. He wants to be in the middle of everything where everyone's attention is. He doesn't want to be on the outskirts shooting laser blasts in, you know? No, the armor is actually, he has a protective halo. And when people hit the halo, it bounces some damage back to his opponents, which is why he has reflect. I just thought that was more flavorful than what my first attempt was. I'm not tired. What are we talking about? I'm not tired at all. It's not a lot of room, so I think this is going to have to grow. Let's go back to my reference. It does show the legs being pretty thin, but considering this is where this box was originally supposed to end, then we'd have the joint, which would mean that the mm-hmm. Possibly a destroyer, depending upon its size. It could be. I would probably default to destroyer. If it's a really big destroyer, then it might be a destroyer cruiser. Is it considered for long range engagements? Or does it just stay near something close because it doesn't have enough ammo or whatever? If all else fails, look at actual naval today's naval But I said I would just look at the actual naval classifications, find out what you think would best apply to it in space, and or make your own classification. Like I have a battle cruiser right now because I'm going to be fighting Beardman's fishtail cruiser, which isn't a cruiser. We have reclassified it as a straight up battleship because it doesn't move very well. Well, my battle cruiser moves better and faster than his ship does, but I'm the same weight category. And if he's a battleship and I already have a light cruiser or a long range cruiser, this thing's made to move. It's made to cruise. So if your ship is made for like to work on its own for long range patrols, it'd either be a patrol ship, it could be a cruiser, it could be a cruiser destroyer. Is this thing already made or just in your head? Okay. Because one thing I would recommend is what is your weight on the ship? Normally, the weight determines what class it's in. Like my escort's a very small ship, but if I was my destroyer is a fairly small ship. Destroyers are ships that are designed to punch above their weight class. If it's, I would also state if it's a small ship, but it's not a destroyer or a an escort, but it's in that same smaller ship category. It could also be a PT boat. It's a patrol boat. It sounds like it's probably a cruiser destroyer. But I said make it in Space Engineers first, see how it behaves, and then label it. You can be intending for it to be a destroyer, but if you find out it can't punch its damage out, then it's not a destroyer. It might just be a cruiser. It might be an escort, or it basically what it ends up being in the end is what will just define what it becomes. But you're making the classification in Space Engineers. So what class is it in Space Engineers? Would be my question. All this is going to get erased. Okay. What was I doing again? That's right. I was throwing a missile at this thing, right? So if he's solar powered, does that mean that him and Halo would get along really well? Hmm. Actually, Halo fell into a vat of chemicals, but they were actually non-lethal. They shouldn't have done anything to him. But as far as he knows, that's what gave him his powers. As far as he knows. I know you have a knee piece, so I gotta save room for that. Next, don't like that. Now, how big is this guy? Okay, so he's not outside of human range. Well, one of my thought processes on this was if he could be basically turned into a vehicle or not. Mm. So now your legs, you have a rounded knee cuff. Kind of breaks up all these sharp angles you've got. Good thing. I was thinking more so designing it like they are thruster pods. One of my favorite songs playing. And I kind of envision his feet widening out. So it's not just a straight, more straight lines going straight down. Till it hits the ankle. Now, do you really want just box feet, or did you want something with toes or? Understandable. Because I mean, I could give him basically two toes. He'd have like your big toe, and then all the other toes would just be one other section. I'd have to go finding the Venator. I was thinking something on that lines too. Mm. So I wasn't necessarily thinking forts. I was thinking it'd be that you'd have your foot, you'd have one toe, and then your supposed other toes. Whereas footprint would basically be so that's what I was thinking. The other concept would be more claw like, but I figured you're a hero bot, so you wouldn't have spikes and claws because that's more villainy. Getting there. You can still have spikes and claws as a good guy, but you're gonna look like you're a bad guy. Wrong one. Okay. Too bad you guys can't see what's going on my screen for my references. Doesn't help with the actual stream though itself. Let me guess. Then they should have taken my warning and gotten to the Discord, right? My other concept for the foot would be a rounded foot, like Mega Man thing. Thinking Mega Man, which would then have a footprint almost like a boot, already built in. Then you would have your ankle and your. Mm, and it would make sense with the rounded foot. Not to mention you can have your thruster here. That'd be your thruster exhaust port when you're walking. It's closed, and then when you're thrustering, it opens up. If you have your thruster still in your legs, or your thrusters might even pop out of your legs in a different mode, out the back of your legs. Because I don't know what it does in its base form. Yeah. I thought you couldn't boost or attack in your main form. Maybe. I just took a precursory glance at it. Enough to get an idea of what you're capable of, but you're all over the place, so. Well, that's kind of the idea of your unit, though. Okay, apparently there's a malicious bot going around Discord. A malicious bot. It's disguising itself as a Twitch bot. Don't know, to be honest. Ah. I'm not even done with the foot yet. Wait, I hope my character didn't end up taking someone else's spot in what they do. My character is a mash between defense and offense. I don't know if you've seen my updated character sheet. Right? Okay. I just lost my. You know what? Actually, I don't need to be that zoomed in anymore because now I'm done. Unless the creator says otherwise, I'm basically done with the bulk details. So now I just have the arms to do, and I will draw the footprint just because it's kind of unique for your character. You know me with my famous eraser. So was your character actually built to be a hero bot or just chose it? Well, what kind of fuel does he run off of? I thought he was running off of radioactive. I'd keep that. Mm. He was damaged. No one would blame him. Even though others fought to the end of their life. But for at that point, probably self-preservation programs kicked in. Yep. Okay, I see this big, huge. What is that? A shield in his base form, or is that something else? I think so. His left, our right. Hmm. Okay. Hey, Shinobi. What? If you can stay on the keyboard stand, you'll be fine. Right, my little fluff? Now, would he have any like little tail wing kind of things on his legs? Would it be on the back, the side? So he won't. It won't be visible then. Yeah, his back wings would be here. I'm just curious if there's any details I should add in here. Well, there's some detail because this would be an armored panel that, much like the hips, would move as needed for the feet to move. So if he wanted to crouch, he'd be able to crouch and not go kathunk so far with his foot. His foot could go all the way up. Yes. Or maybe his feet literally, for all we know, that shield might pop out during flight mode and his foot might literally just bend down for the thrust support. I don't know. I mean, he has a thrust support here in his heel for this form, but if he's actually flying, and he changes to a flight form, it might get too warm for his foot. Mute the stream. So in the base form picture, he's projecting what, two things? I see the person. Okay. And he has humanistic hands. Does he have all 5 fingers, or just like 4 or 3? All 5? Be a pain in my butt. I see how it goes. So I see very boxed arms. I'm tempted to round out at least the shoulder. But yeah, did you like how I slimmed down the waist? Fortunately, anyone who's familiar with 40K is going to automatically think Space Marines. But anything with a rounded shoulder is going to give them that. There's no way to avoid it. It was Games Workshop tried screwing over someone, and they decided to go, well, we already put the work in. Screw you. Mm. I can kind of see that. But I figured rounded shoulders could be used to improve aerodynamics. And I would imagine the shoulders probably have like an interior joint right about here. So if he raises his arm, the shoulder plate itself would raise up. That's also why I made him so tall. I made his shoulder plates taller because I kind of figured that they would rotate if he rose his arms. Yawn. I want this to go down just a hair more. just so it's visible that's a separate part. Huh? Yep. Do it quickly, right? Nothing's wrong with that. This is a rotational piece. Okay. My speaker's going crazy. Or I presume he's got the same thing on the other side no matter what. Always mirrored. Minus maybe, detail panels and stuff. Like what I did with the chest is I did different pieces for the shoulder parts. Now I am thinking that I'm not sure if these parts would be rounded or if they'd be squared. I'm thinking they'd be squared. Actually, I imagine that'd be the other way. And now I'm on the dreaded hit. Oh, getting. Yeah, I'm moving on to the hands. Blah. Taking a little bit of liberty on this. Because this is a shield that would protect the elbow from side attacks at least. And I'll repeat it on this side. Just an armor plate. And seeing as his arm rotates up here, right here would never need to rotate. Who? When? Where? This almost looks like a battle mech. And now just hands. Nope, that's fine. Yep. Yep. See you around. Yep, I will. Really. Now I just have the wings, which I know he has. He has other pictures of. If I can stop yawning, that'd be wonderful. Right? Ooh, Stinky Kitty makes Stinky. Mm-hmm. And besides his alternative modes, I think that's his base mode down. So show that to the camera. And I think I'm going to end this stream right about now. So I'll see everyone later.